Hello, my name is Sierra Hopper, and this is my Assignment 4.0 Social Work Conference presentation on unhoused children and the trauma that they're left with. The population I have chosen to discuss is homeless children and the trauma they endure while living unhoused. According to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, children were also negatively impacted by their mother's trauma histories, with 41% having physical and/or emotional difficulties at baseline. On a macro level, the effect of trauma-informed care amongst services is a proven critical need for agencies that serve families that are experiencing homelessness. Access to trauma-informed therapy for children affected by homelessness should be provided at all schools across the country. With homelessness can come isolation. Therefore, having a group of other children that have had similar life experiences can provide children with the understanding that they are not alone in the struggles they face. There is a high prevalence of major mental illness amongst unhoused children, and a study on the topic stated by the time homeless children are 8 years old, 1 in 3 have a major mental disorder. It's helpful for children to be around other groups of children experiencing the same life experiences as them. Trauma-informed care is a critical approach for addressing the needs of children affected by homelessness, recognizing the complex effects of trauma on children's development, and promotes healing, growth, and resiliency. By implementing trauma-informed care, principles and strategies, we can provide children affected by homelessness with the support and resources they need to thrive. On a macro level, the effect of trauma-informed care amongst services is a proven critical need for agencies that serve families that are experiencing homelessness. The theoretical orientation throughout this treatment group is trauma-informed cognitive behavioral therapy and a strengths-based approach. The length of the treatment group would be for an initial 8 weeks, for a total of 8 initial sessions. This would provide time for evaluation of the treatment group and reassessing if areas need to be improved or changed. The group would meet weekly for 1 hour in person. The maximum number of participants would be 10, and the minimum would be 5. The age group for this treatment group would be between the ages of 8 and 11 years of age. For inclusion in this group, the participants would need to be currently or previously homeless. In my community, there is not currently any therapy groups directed solely at working with unhoused children. However, upon my research, I found there is evidence-based data to show the positive effects trauma-informed therapy has on children affected by living unhoused and experiencing trauma through their experiences. Studies completed over 2 decades ago found that up to 78% of youth experiencing homelessness have at least one mental health disorder, depression, or behavior problems, and/or experience an academic or developmental delay. There is a huge need for community collaboration with school districts for the success of children. Some of the things that can be addressed are social skills, resiliency, coping skills, and an increase in empathy. This can cause an overall increase in positive behaviors at home and at school. Week 8 would be the final session prior to reevaluation for potential continued sessions. This session would begin with welcoming everyone and introducing the group structure and how the group will move through the 1 hour together. This is how each session will be welcomed. The facilitator would lead the group through the activity, the emotions involved in leaving a group that is important to you. Prior to the ending of the final session, the facilitator will also lead the exercise, your process evaluation of a group, tailored for the specific age group, to get an understanding of the overall success or failure of the group throughout the 8 weeks. This would then assess the need for any potential or further sessions. Here are my resources from my presentation and some of the areas where I was finding data. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the need for groups with unhoused children and families and the traumatic experiences that they endure.